Gusto News on Gusto TV Africa. And hi, I'm your host, definitely Sugar, and I'm here with.
I'm sipping my tea because it's a lot of tea today.
Bad.
It's a lot of tea
There is
today,
a
though.
lot,
It's
a
a lot
lot,
of
a
tea.
lot.
It's a lot of tea.
So, introduce yourself. I want to introduce him.
No. I mean, you guys first. I mean, it's Paul Way right here, right? So, let me take the duty off, Sugar, and say thank you so very much for all the amazing things that you do for us here at Gusto TV Africa. We see all your likes, we see the subscriptions, we see the comments, the very good ones and the not so very good ones. I mean, it's all part of the three, right? So yeah, it's good. Thank you so much for
Thank
what you
you
do for
so
the
much.
Gusto community, and we deeply appreciate you. Gracias muchos.
Thank you so much for all that you do for us at Gusto TV Africa once again. And we don't waste much of our time. Like we are there to of tea to sip on this morning. So let's just delve right into it already. We have Asake, we have Ruga, we have Davido. You see that Ruga and Davido? That one is hot. So let's start off self, Mr. Money, Ololade, Mr. Money. So, guys, this morning we woke up, peaceful Friday morning. Everybody happy that it's the weekend. We want to rest. There's no trouble. There's no wahala. But then it seems like the internet said, "All up, no. We will not allow Mr. Money rest just yet because just last week and this week we're just like, oh, thank God, things are becoming kind of soft for Ashake. We're happy
Yep.
to see him in this era of his international positioning and everything. Now, it's been said allegedly that a man had come out to say, you know what, Ashake is my son and I'm down with stroke, but he's not taking care of me. Please, Nigerians, come to my head. Now, fans have been saying a lot of things, like they've been talking. But
Right.
wait, if I was going to ask you, what was your first reaction to this news when you saw it?
First, this typical move of just popping out
From nowhere.
from nowhere. I mean, it needs to actually really,
Yeah.
really stop. First off, we know everything that's been going on with Ashake
Yeah.
from the time that he left the YBNL. There were speculations. In fact, his name was literally in the mouth of everybody, right? On the lips of commentators, anybody who had his shares in the Ashake stock, right? So
Yeah.
left YBNL. There was no word, no official confirmation till maybe the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And one of the persons that we're expecting to really speak on that issue was Olamide Bado. We didn't really hear anything from him. How he had kept it cool, I don't know how he's doing it, but I mean, it is what it is because Ashake is one of his strongest artists signed to the YBNL. But it is what it is. That era has passed. Ashake started his own Giron thing, moving solo, assembling his whole new team.
Militants.
Giron Republic, all
Yeah.
camo, new style, looking fly and everything. And then there's one Tunde Phoenix guy who just creeps up from nowhere, starts to cause a mayhem, took it upon himself, to drag Ashake every 3 market days. And this guy think he's been able to find his feet, being on his own, going solo after leaving an interesting one of the biggest labels. In case you don't know, what YBN is one of the biggest labels. When you talk about in terms of structure and how they've been able to write, and your father, alleged father, says Nigerians are Mashake's father. Please come to my head. I'm down with stroke. Bruh, these are things that we should not actually even be seeing in the internet in the first place. Where you did since all this time? I remember when Ashake had a show at the O2 Arena, he took his mom to the O2, right? We didn't see you, bro. So it's either you've not been present in his life, and all of a sudden you just want him to recognize you. So it's a feel, it's not a feel good factor, if I have to put it that way. I don't know, probably it's just seeking attention. That's my take on it, but it's not a pretty situation.
Yeah, it is actually not, because the words that he's saying compared to what people are actually saying, there are two different things. We have someone saying, oh, this is Sulaiman Alade saying, I was Ashake's teacher when he was in nursery in front of my family house. Then goes on to explain, gives the full details, the address and the house number, just in case you people want to come and confirm. Then this person specifically said Isale Eko, Lagos. So if you know Asake very well right from, it's always mentioned Isale Eko. I remember one time with when Yemoli had an interview and he's like, when they got to Lagos and Ashake was like, oh, it was like, Ashake, you're going to Isale Eko now. So no, this person was actually right. Ashake's dad had gone on to say that the last time he saw Ashake was like 2022. That's we're talking 3 years ago. So now there's something definitely they are not telling us, and it's just quite sad that at this point where he's, like you said, already getting his feet, building that brand again for himself, because we would say for a fact that at the beginning of the year it was really rough for him. It was like they were trying to pull down that brand and just wanted him to start from scratch. Now this one is coming out, this story is coming out now saying that, oh, you're Ashake's father, where have you been? Social media has been buzzing, like there's been a lot of things. So now Poja, the media guy, is going to say, but is that truly Ashake's biological father? And that definitely begs the question, that is that truly his father? But we really cannot know. And like I said, the comments have been so personal. Now Abdulaziz is saying yes he is, but he didn't abandon him when he was a little boy. Ashake is from Lagos Island. The man lives in Isale Eko. I will volunteer myself to anyone who is willing to interview the man. Now, this is something that, like I said, two opposite stories. The man coming out to say that, oh, this is what is going on. And he didn't even go into details with the whole, issue, why Ashake left him, why Ashake is not taking care of him. He's just saying that, you know what, I'm Ashake's father, help me. That's the bane of the story that he came out to say. And now this person is saying, no, one thing I've noticed is that all the comments that have been on social media, like most of the ones that I've seen, like this ones here, they've been so personal. So do you think that there might just be some kind of iota of truth in this whole thing, and we just need Ashake to actually talk to Clearly?
Honestly, I just feel like the only way we can actually move forward with this situation is for Ashake to probably just clear the air. I just feel like right now he's giving the whole Mohbad and his father type of I don't, it just reminds me of that. That's just the way that just comes to my mind, readily comes to my mind. So all this abandonment issue, but these are strong points and strong claims from all these people, which seem like they really really know everything that's going on with him, right? So whatever it is, I don't know, it's a family thing, they can sort it. This whole issue about abandonment and all of that, I don't think that is something that we should be dealing with right now.
That a lot of people had even said, someone on the internet said, you know what if Ashake did not turn out? Would he still have come out to say, you know what, this is my son though?
It's a typical thing, and I mean, at the end of the day, everyone will want to associate themselves with success.
Exactly.
So yeah, it is what it is.
Like very, very, very true. So moving on and talking about greatness, we have Davido, Omo Babalo himself, and he's finally dropped the most. I could say that this, was the most and everyone was looking forward to it. This single that was, and then it has finally dropped, and then it leaves to number 19 on the Nigeria Apple Music Top Songs chart. Fans have actually listened to this song. They've had a lot of things to say. And you guys, remember I told you that there's a Ruga news, right? But we're coming back there. We are coming back there. And now let's just go through the, on this particular song, we have, production from DJ Maforisa as well. At this point, I feel like they have a special connection. It's like this man is already embodied with Davido, and like, you know what, I'm not leaving you anytime soon. Now let's just go right into the reactions. We have Oluwa saying David should just rest this song. It's just a mess. What's all this? I don't even they hear anything.
First off, like David, for example, has not used for negative reasons, right? The way he has just really gone about the promotion or the PR for the release of the
Release.
Five album is quite different. No chaos. It's just really like
Mm-hmm.
you can see that
Just
he's
promoting it
yeah, you could see that
organically.
he's really interested and excited about
Mm-hmm.
the release of his album. Now, we've had songs like we've seen Odumodu Black and Chike
Yeah.
on the on
The
the
font.
on the font song,
Yeah.
which
So
clearly
Valley on okay.
yeah, which clearly will be in the album.
Mm-hmm.
Awuke is right there as well too. So yeah, these are two great songs that dropped, and the streets have actually really vibed to it. Although these things will be met with criticism. It's very
Mm-hmm.
normal for things
Definitely.
like this to happen, right?
Yeah.
But in personal take for this new release of Be There Still, I feel like it was a little bit. I wasn't expecting to hear this. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, the snippet sounded like okay, there's more we can
Something.
expect,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But for Davido, I feel like in 2025, bro. I'm not trying to be too critical of
Yeah.
the
I get
record.
it.
I mean, music is subjective, but in
Mm-hmm.
terms of how I received it, I felt a little bit disappointed. I didn't like how I felt like the whole sound production wise was just all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, great shout out to DJ Mafarisa and any other person on the production end, but I felt like it was just a little bit all over the place. The lamba limbo inside the song, it was too flat for me. I didn't feel a strong connection to the things he was saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it, 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 it might not be the best record for Davido in this time. I'm just hoping to see maybe when the whole album drops, we probably might see a
Mm-hmm.
lot
Something
more.
to
Maybe when you listen to the whole kind of like
elevate
blends in
your one.
and
Yes.
just elevates
Mm-hmm.
this actual track. But in terms of how it's hitting me, not there yet.
I get it
It's not the
right.
kind of Davido record that I'll hear for the first time and I'm like
Yeah, yeah,
gassed.
yeah, yeah. That's it.
Like nah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
still not feeling it yet, and this is me
Yeah.
being completely honest.
Yeah. For me, I feel like the video is vibing. It's just going with the flow.
Probably he didn't.
It's
He's This is a song that he wrote
he
himself.
wrote. I mean, I saw a comment like that as well. That
Mm.
like, oh, you would know when Davido writes a song himself. I feel like whenever Davido writes a song himself, he's just vibing. He's just doing his thing. Like, I don't think he's trying to add thing of maybe he wants you to connect emotionally or stuff, but I don't think. Now, Big Chief has gone on to say Davido suppose don't pass this level musically. He is supposed to have started doing something different, create a different sound. He's now boring. He's now boring people with same sound and vibe all the time. Am I
I
coming
get
through
what he's.
right?
I get what he said. Saying
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's becoming like a typical when you hear the sound, just know that it's Davido because it's doing the same.
uniqueness. Are we not looking for when you hear stuff actually tied to certain artists?
Even looking for unique stuff to certain artists, you still want to be able to find that element of you like evolvement, like they've actually evolved. But this is the same sound, this is the same person, but there's a new tweak to it. Enjoy, you know, the sound that you know that yes, this is how this person produces, this is how they sing, but there's always to be that element is looking for at this
Well,
point.
like lean towards what he said, but trying a different sound is boring. The same vibe all the time. Everybody knows. I think we had that on a series on the podcast where
Mm-hmm.
Sheyan about if Davido should leave the piano
And a
genre
piano,
alone.
yeah. I
I,
mean, it's
I feel
really
like
good a
that's
lot.
his comfort zone. I feel like he really likes that bounce, and he has really really strong African South
Mm-hmm.
African sound. Marisa, is on that record as well too in production and for it. So yeah, in terms of evolving, because I personally like what Whiskey did with the Mariah
Album,
album. It
yeah.
was a different route entirely. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people were expecting to see the Whiskey from MIL, Made in Lagos,
Lagos, yeah.
or probably other of his projects, but
Mm-hmm.
Whiskey took us on a different journey, right? Yeah, it was really good. You still had the core Whiskey in it, but it was a different soundscape, right? If I had to
Yeah.
put it that way,
Mm-hmm.
you had different collaborations. For example, the Brent Fires record was different.
Yeah.
The future with I beg your pardon, Jasmine Sullivan was different. So we had to see whiskey in a different
Different
light,
light,
in a
yeah.
different space. So it goes to show a lot of versatility. So probably, and let's not judge David
Mm,
too early. There's still a whole album coming out,
yeah, I
so
mean,
probably we're able to balance the sounds.
yeah.
But in terms of how the streets is receiving this
Really
one,
really
I never
hard. Like
clear.
it's just so glaring.
It
Just
never
so
clear.
even those that would go on that comment section say, "Oh, this is hard. This is it." They know within themselves that we're just trying to be core diehard fans
You
and
have to
not
support
like
your
we
faith,
have to
anyways.
support no matter what. And moving on, talking about support, we have Ruga. If there's one person that has publicly, shown their love for whiskey right from when they started, this whole music thing.